This tutorial, today we are going to look at irritability and cell reaction to its environment. Under the content, you are going to look at irritability and type of responses. We are going to look at movement and organelle for movement. Now, irritability and types of responses. What is irritability? Irritability is the ability of organisms to respond to stimuli. A stimulus is any change in external environment or internal environment condition which can bring about a change in the activity of the whole or part of the organisms. Response is the term used for the change in activity of the organism. There are three major types of responses. These include tactic, nastic, and tropic movement. Taxis or active movement is a directional movement or response of a whole organism from one place to another in response to external stimuli such as light, temperature, water, and certain chemicals. Examples of tactic movement include 1. Euglena or Chlamydomonas swimming away from the high light intensity, that is negative phototaxis. In a moss plant, sperm swim toward the chemical produced by the egg cell, positive chemotaxis. Now B. Nastism or nastic movement is a non-directional sleep movement or response of a part of plant in response to non-directional stimuli such as light intensity, temperature, and humidity. Example of nastic movement include the folding of the leaflet of mimosa plant when touched, closing of the morning glory flower when light intensity is low. Another tropism another tropism or tropic movement another one is tropism or tropic movement is a unilateral growth and directional movement of a part of a plant in response to directional stimuli. These responses are experienced in growth regions, root and shoot apices, and are controlled by certain plant hormones known as auxins. Tropic movements are named according to the stimuli. Example, we have shoot bent towards light, which is positive phototropism, while root bend away from light, that is negative phototropism. Shoots bend away from gravity, negative geotropism, while root bend toward gravity, positive geotropism. Tendrils of a climbing plant twine around a support, that is a positive thigmotropism, while root tips grow away from it, that is negative thigmotropism. Evaluation. You are to give two other examples each of nastic, tropic, and tactic movement. List four environmental factors that evokes responses. Now let's go to movement. Organisms move from one place to other in search of food, water, mates, and escaping predator or harsh weather condition. We have cyclosis in cell. Cyclosis, that is cytoplasmic streaming, is the mass rotational movement of the cytoplasm and its content in cells. Cyclosis brings about the transportation of substances from one part of the cell to the other and the exchange of materials between the cell organelles. Cyclosis occur in one protozoa like amoeba, known as amoeboid movement. B. Chloroplast of some plants where they move independently to place their broad surface parallel to the surface of the leaf to receive sufficient sunlight or for photosynthesis. Evaluation. What is cyclosis? State two examples of cyclosis. Organelles for movement. A. Flagella. They are long whip-like projection, usually one or two on the cell surface. Flagella are organelles for movement in Euglena, Trypanosome, spermatozoa, Chlamydomonas, etc. We have cilia. They are short hair-like structures, numerous and closely packed together on the cell surface. Cilia can be found in paramecium and on cells lining the human windpipe. General evaluation. 1. Mention the structure for movement in paramecium, amoeba and euglena. 2. Describe briefly movement in amoeba. 3. Outline two functions of cyclosis. 4. State two examples of nastic movement. 5. How is tropic movement related to growth? 6. Differentiate between tactic and nastic movement. 7. Describe an experiment to demonstrate geotropism in root and shoot. Your reading assignment can be found on chapter 12, page 236 through 243 on college biology. That's where your reading assignment is. I want you to read more about this topic on that chapter. For your weekend assignment, which is multiple choice questions, we have 5 of them, and the theory we have 2 of them. So I'm going to leave you now. Meet you next class. Bye.